Speaking of
gosh.
people that know how to host, so so I've been go Thailand recently, and then
Yeah.
some people that are just your guys, but not your guys like that.
Mm.
And it is kind of one of those my guys, just chilling. Like once we they interact with each other, pages and all of those kind of things.
Mm.
But it's not like we're talking about our
Yep.
problems. So is that, yeah.
Mm.
Anywho, I let him know that I'm coming to Thailand. That which in your mind is just go meet up, dinner, and then he goes about his life. You enjoy your holiday and you come
No.
back. But then he was like, no, 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 no. I need to
Change
show
it.
you the town.
Wow.
Yes. It's like I need to show you the town.
Hmm.
So like I swear he treated me like babe and it was sweet. Like not it's just be ready at 8 and picking you up. Guy, dress, like wear something nice.
Adam said, see, there's no greater joy, there's no greater love for your homeboy to show you love.
Ah,
Love where normally now you go show babe, but your homeboy go say, Omo. You know what I'm saying? Like take it to good. I went to
What's
Philippines
happening to the town for
2017,
you?
right? And then there's one of my friends, my classmate that time, he was doing marine, whatever in Philippines. And when he knew I was in Philippines, the guy just took me around Manila, man. Like I just felt differently. Like
hmm.
if I want big, say, Baba, no worry. Like it's just that love, and then you will not wait for you to reciprocate that gesture when it comes to you. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Speaking of Philippines
Mm.
and all those other countries, right? Like I don't know if you decided to spend the rest of your life in Sydney, Australia, or if you've thought about it. Where do you see yourself spending the rest of your life? Like, where are you planting your flag and saying this is home for
Is that for
you?
me or for
Yeah,
anyone?
for you, both of you.
I think what's funny is, you know, you are from Australia, you are an Australian citizen, but someone will still ask you, bro, where are you from? You know what I mean? So that question, where are you from, speaks a lot. So to me, I love Australia, great country, but this is just me. I'm not sure what to me is gonna think, but I would love to just retire in Nigeria and then come to Australia and see my kids. That's it. But I would just it's different. That there's a difference between retiring in Nigeria and retiring in Australia, especially because of the many things that we know. Nigeria obviously has its own issues, but that communal relationship that we've got at home is nothing that you can buy with money. You can never buy that with money. You know, so with that, and because I be person who know the mind business, I cannot stay by myself. I know if you just lock myself in a house. I like to dey come out, I like to dey speak with people. And you know how old age can be. Old age is very expensive. You need to talk to people, you need to be moving around.
No, so but you
I,
said like you can move back to Nigeria, or you're thinking about it.
no, like when that time comes,
Okay.
I still have a lot of, time to think and process that. But I would love to, retire in Nigeria.
Emmanuel,
But
can
traveling
you retire
around,
to Nigeria?
I don't want to, but I can.
But so where do you see yourself retiring?
brain brain nurse, I beg, if you can,
It's a
man,
good question.
send
Um,
request, make we gist. Correct boy, London egg.
I see myself retiring in a place far away from crowded people, from like cities. So
This one now Broken Hill in one comes.
like no, it doesn't have to be Broken Hill. Like I'll give you an example. When I did my uni in Mauritius, right? It's just an island with like 1.5 million people, and on that island, I, I didn't watch television for how many months? Let's say 8 months. I was watching movies on my laptop, but that was just it because I was studying. But I didn't watch TV. I was just going to the beach, club, come back home, cook, friends over. That was the life. Just after like 7 months, I said to my housemates, "How come we've never even sat down to watch TV?" And we're like, "Wow, okay, what's happening?" And then my twin said he did a Google search about Mauritius, and somebody who came to visit created a YouTube clip and said that that's the best place in the world to live. And I was like, okay, I've been here all this while, I haven't turned on the TV. And then I realized that there wasn't crime, there was nothing. It was like a developed village. So there was internet, fast internet, there was beach, there was tourists, there was everything there, and everything was cheap, right? So I realized that if you have money, you can live in this place and you'll be very happy. You live a very comfortable life and you'll be happy. Then, so that's the kind of life I like. That's what I enjoy. Now, in Australia, right, you can get the same thing. You can move to the Blue Mountains or somewhere far away from everyone. It will still be developed, but you live a very, very simple life, but it will be expensive. So when you say, where do I see myself? I would like to I see myself living in a very quiet place, to be honest. And it would be a little bit underdeveloped. It wouldn't be city kind of lifestyle. It would just be somewhere where everybody knows everyone, simple place, come out, get your coffee, go to your farm. Just very simple life, to be honest. I kind of see myself doing that because even like right now, I don't see what I'm really doing apart from my work, right? What really excites me? Nothing. Like literally nothing. If to, maybe to go to Blue Mountains or go wall climbing or go for a hike. It's those kind of things that I actually would enjoy doing more now than actually saying I'm going to the city to club or do all this stuff. So yeah,
You
yeah.
know what's funny?
Well,
What's funny is people that have not experienced city will want to retire in city. You know, because you've experienced city, you've traveled wide. Obviously, you know all
I
cities
don't
are the
think
same.
so.
But if you talk to someone in Nigeria right now, or someone from
Yeah,
a third world country,
yeah,
they will tell you that they want to retire in Europe, they want to retire in America, Australia, all these
yeah.
places.
But
But
so think about it this way, right?
but then again, you say you did not watch TV while you were in Mauritius, but you were
Yeah,
with your laptop, you were watching screen. As long as you were watching screen, you
Praise,
know, movie.
the
What
only
because
thing I was
again,
actually
what are you gonna watch on the
like,
TV that you did not watch
I
on your
was enjoying
laptop?
myself so much. I wasn't watching Premier League.
You
Like
are not a football
literally, I
person
was
like
not
that.
watching Premier League,
You don't even care
and
about
I was
football.
enjoying Premier. I was no,
Me and Daniel, we
actually
watch football. No,
no praise.
chill. Me and Daniel, we dey watch football. We say we they wake up for 1, 2,
I
3
wake up
a.m. watch football.
1 a.m. to
You
watch
are not
soccer.
that person.
No.
You know.
Okay, let's not go down that path,
Let's
right?
not
All I'm trying to
even
say is
talk
that
basketball because Adamu can
what?
trade whatever to watch
Talk too
basketball.
much. So praise. Let's
Hmm?
not go down that path. But like I watch soccer a lot. I'm a soccer fan. Before I traveled to go and do my uni, I used to stay up late to watch Champions League in viewing centers in Nigeria. I used to do all that stuff. But when I was there, it was when I moved to a new house. I was walking past the bar and I saw them playing soccer, and I was like, "What? So I've been missing soccer." And then I sat down there and we just had a drink and we watched it, and then we went home. What I'm trying to say is that all these things, like at the end of the day, if you would find out that the things you think you like the most may not be what you really like, right? It could just be that you've grown up in the midst of those things and they are just doing what everyone is doing. But do you ever pause and say, okay, as praise, what do I really want? Like, what have you ever asked yourself, what do I desire the most? Forget about all the things that you've done in your life, because most of the things we've done are things that we've seen everybody doing, and we think it's the norm, and then we just do them. You go to school. Who said you should go to school? What makes you think that school is what you should be doing with your time? So if you think about life from a different perspective and say, if from childhood, right, let's say from like 16 years old, your dad asked you, praise, what do you want the most in life? And then from that time, your dad said, okay, this particular thing you want, let's work towards getting that thing. You'll get it and you'll be living a very, very happy life. Different, completely different to what you're
But then
living now.
again,
I can guarantee you that. Like
you need to ask yourself.
100%,
But then again,
right?
you need to ask yourself
But
at
the
16,
problem, no,
if
but
you were
Prince,
asked that
forget
question
about
at
the age. No,
16,
don't focus on the age.
okay.
Don't focus on
Because
the age.
I mean,
What I'm
what
trying
did
to
you
say, what,
the
what I'm
thing is that
trying to
right,
say,
as
Prince,
you
what I'm
are
trying to say,
growing,
what
as
I'm
you are
trying to
aging, you
say,
are knowing better,
no,
you are
what
unlearning and
I'm
learning.
trying to say, right, is that the way we've been trained is, what do you want to be, not what do you want, right? It's, do you want to be an engineer, just be a soccer player? What do you like? It's like that training, like everything is to join the system and then fuel the economy, and then like it's to put you in line. But if they don't prioritize you as a person to say, Praise, what do you want? Nobody has ever asked you that question. What do you really want? I say, take your time, think about it, come tomorrow and tell me. Nobody has done that for you. If they did that for you at a very young age, trust me, your mindset will be very, very different.
Let me tell
and if they kept on reinforcing your thought
Ini,
process will be different too. Yeah.
Wait. There's nobody on this life that I've never been asked that question, what do you want? Again,
I've never been asked.
What you want at every stage of your life is different from the next stage. When I was 11, what I wanted would be, I just want to play game, walk around and run around.
Right now, at this point in your life, is what he's asking.
Good morning.
Morning.
The London cake.
Nah,
like,
cake. Nah.
That handle is
Please.
very interesting. Like, what inspired the name Brain Nurse? Like, you just wake up, they create Instagram account, and you're like, I'm a nurse, I have brain.
No. That's not, because I'm actually a psychiatric nurse. Yeah, so
Nice.
I work in mental health. So I mean, I'm just looking for something and interesting that can just like pull people together, kind of. So that's why.
Correct, guy. Well, nice to see you again.
Your audio is clean. That headset is sick.
Gamer.
It's my of course it's my gaming headphone. It's my gaming headphone.
Correct, guy. But you don't play FIFA. I think what I've seen you
I
play.
do.
FIFA, really?
I have FIFA. I play FIFA 24. I play 25 now. I play Call of Duty. I play anything.
DM me your handle, make I add you up.
The Brain Nurse. Just type the Brain Nurse.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm back on business. But anyway, like I was saying, Adam.
They spoke about gaming, Praise. You don't jump up, DM me. And now those you can play game. They bump your chest. You ain't they collect.
But I think this is what, like, gaming is what most people like. Even if you see the rate at which ladies are playing games now, I think a lot of people are going into gaming to like keep themselves in the right frame of mind, sort of like hoping. The world is too stressful.
Yeah, but then again, I have a different interpretation or maybe a different perspective into that. I think gaming is good. I love to game. I love game. I even when I'm bored Starlink because my internet was crap. So my internet now is like it's crazy. Anyway, so that's all the different conversation. But then again, I think gaming has really done to the society worse than what it would, because a lot of people now, they don't interact with people anymore just because they really want to go back to their house and play game. And if you jump on the bus, if you jump on a public bus, or maybe you are at the airport, people are just on their phone playing game or doing one or two things. People are less interacting. A lot of people are single. My brother here is single because he's always on his phone. He doesn't want to talk to no lady. Like these are negatives, that have added to the society just because of people are just isolated in that sense. So I would say gaming is good, but so even I was listening to Barack Obama the other time, speak, and then he was saying that a lot of people, he was asking footballers and basketballers, what the locker room is like. They say the locker room is so different from what the locker room used to be 10, 15 years ago, because people are on their headset, people are on their phone, people are not interacting with nobody. Because of this, what are they doing? It's that they are playing game or they are just listening to music. Back in the days, people will be chatting. You know what I'm saying? People will be reading newspaper. People are just open to chat. But now again, a lot of people are just burying their head inside their phones. I think that's just the negative. But other than that, I just love the experience.
But I mean, sorry, I know you were talking about something different before gaming came in, but I have like a little reservation about like what you said, because I would think not like gaming cost distance. It's the way the life is currently. It's so tough. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people, you can't even trust people. You can't be vulnerable with people anymore. So what do you want to do with your time? Because you know how many people I've met through gaming. So in terms of social interaction, gaming has brought a lot of people together, even people that you can never see. I've met people online and they'll be like, oh, you know what? Let's be friends. You don't even know them and you're playing games together.
I feel you.
So
I
I'll
feel
still say,
you. I feel you
I'll still say
100%.
gaming has brought a lot of people like together, and because you have similar interests. So if I play football, I'll kind of like meet people who play football. When we go to the field, we become friends. So you see, sports and all of these things brings people with similar interests together. So not everybody, I don't want to go on the train now and be talking about my life to just a stranger, because I don't trust anybody. If you get what I mean. So
Yeah, definitely. I
a
trust
lot
you. Like
a lot of things.
I feel you. I mean, that was how we sort of just connected. I saw you playing tennis, and I just really enjoy how you play tennis. And when I came to London, I'm like, I'm just gonna hit, some tennis with you. I like the aspect of people getting to know people, but then again, I had to go out of my way to message you, right? Not a lot of people go out of their way to message people, and even when they get to meet you, most of them are very awkward. They cannot hold conversation, But when me and you we chat, you could know that I'm on a different beat. Even when we saw
Yeah.
my energy, your energy was different, and then you got me introduced to your friend, and then I was able to sustain the relationship, and then me and your guy were still cool. And then this is you and my friends, and then I believe that maybe you guys will be sort of just exchanging, whatever handle. So that's on a different beat. But there are a lot of people that are very awkward. They don't even speak to people on the field, and they don't even speak to people even on social media. And that has even make it more awkward. You know what I mean? Because you need to have social skills. You need to know how to be able to talk to people. And people are just burying their head inside their phone, just playing game, and then they're missing out on a lot of things. These are the problem.
So with people who have that kind of like personality, I think for kids now, if we're saying adults playing game, it's different. Like, yeah, but when you train your kids to start playing game from early age, they keep to themselves. I think that's what affects most people a longer time. If you look at people who started playing games as kids, like probably the parent could afford like PlayStation for them when they were like 3-4 years and they were playing games all the way. You see that these people tend to like keep more to themselves. They don't really go out, because when they come back from school, they're on the game. When the parents gone out, they're on the game. Unlike people who their parents kind of take them out to parties, take them out. So I mean, we are all different, because when I was growing up, I couldn't afford. It's just now, thank God for grace. It's not everybody that you have to be on the street, mix with people who play football, street football, and all of those things. So I mean, it's a different lifestyle. So, but I think people who kind of were locked in from the start are these people that you see outside there.
Doctor,
So,
I mean, we don't get to see you often, and we had a conversation before jumping on this live. We had a topic that we wanted to discuss, but since you are here, I just want to pick your brain on how London is for you. Because I mean, we've been seeing a lot of social critics a lot of people are always on their phone talking about London is hard. Prices of commodities have gone up, no job. The whole CEO, whatever they call. So there've always been a lot of critics, people coming to London through a particular visa and then they don't have a job. They are talking about overpopulation, houses are tiny, things are, I'm not able to get visa, there's no relationship anywhere. If you're coming to London to look for a spouse, forget about it. And then you've been there for like a minute. And then when I saw you had a car, you were living the life, you are playing tennis, you are even having extracurricular activities, like, what's that for you? So when you see people complaining about London and then you are there, and then so to you now it will be like, not in my backyard, it doesn't really concern me. Is it a thing, or people are just starting shit?
I mean, it depends. It depends on your situation and why you're in the country. Because London to be honest, I can't say this is not what it is. This is what it is, because everybody has different experiences, and you need to understand that everybody have different background. Everybody have different orientation about life. Everybody have different approach to life and everything. So, coming from Nigeria, I mean, I moved to London like 3 years ago. So, I'm a social person. I've been playing my tennis, back from Nigeria. I've been playing my football. I've been playing everything. So, and I mean, the last part of my life in Nigeria was in Lagos. I spent about 4 years or close to 5 years in Lagos. So I enjoyed the busy environment and everything. So I had a lot of things to do. So even coming to the UK, I kind of like wanted to come to London because with my research, that's the way you can get a lot of activities and everything. I don't want to sit down back in. I understand the expenses, cost of living and everything, but I just think that if you don't do too much, because a lot of people are living fake life in this country, a lot of people, especially people that come from like Africa back home, you come here, you want to live. I mean, I don't really enjoy traveling, but I mean, it's easier. But you see some people, they want to travel 4 times in a year because they have the access to. Like, don't lose focus. When you come in, do what you need to do. I'm driving because I need it for work. Because now I work as a clinical nurse assessor, so I travel around to. So it's part of what I needed to do to have as a criteria for me getting this job role when I came in as a nurse initially, because I was on the ward and I felt like, you know what, I don't want to be on the ward for so long. I want something different, flexible and everything. So I planned myself, this is what you need, this is what you need. And then I had to like do my driving test and everything. I only did 10 lessons, to be honest. I was just, I mean, people said it's hard. I've seen people who do like driving tests 10 times, 5 times. My uncle who has been driving, my uncle can drive from Ibadan to Bayelsa. You know how far that is. If you can drive from Ibadan to Bayelsa and you come to UK and you fail that, I mean, anybody can fail their driving test then because people who are experienced like that. I mean, but I mean, I was very lucky. I passed my test on time because I thought these things are what you need. They are the skills you need to like live well in this country. Because trust me, train fare are very expensive, very very expensive. You can't have like an impromptu emergency for travel. It's going to really like tear your pockets. Imagine just going somewhere and you're spending £100 for travel. Like what? So you just need to equip yourself. And when I came in, I kind of like met with people. I had conversations with people in work. I mean, most people are not like sociable like that. You know, the country is not so friendly to an extent, but it's a bit different in London because if you approach people actually want to talk. Yeah, if you give them that space, they actually want to talk because if you meet, I've met people, and then from nowhere we are having this engagement and everything. But everybody just have, I think it's a cultural thing. It's just the mindset that in London, everybody have to mind their business. Don't talk to anybody. Don't talk to this. Don't talk to that. They will harass you, racism,
You see,
everything. See,
something you've just touched on now that is very, very important, and it's in line with what we're talking about, right? You said people travel, like everybody goes abroad for their own personal reasons, so they have what's carrying them abroad. But for most of us who have left Nigeria, it's for a better life because things are
Mhm.
hard at home. So that's our middle ground. But the thing is, what happens when that reason changes? So we leave Nigeria to escape poverty. And almost according to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, after you've had food, you've had shelter, what's
Mhm.
on top of that thing is
Safety and
self-actualization. So
oh, okay.
yeah,
The
self-actualization
top,
is
the
the
top part, yeah,
yes, the
yeah.
top part. So that's when you now start to do things like traveling, to expose yourself to different things, to see what you like. You're just in your exploration phase. And it's a luxury. And it's what most of us or some of us are already experiencing, or the rest of us will soon experience when you've left all those per hour work. You've have that security that you can never ever go hungry again.
Mm.
You've escaped poverty. Then you now start to reconsider things and you start to see where you are through a different lens. Like the truth is, there's not a lot of enjoyment in London. Almost
Mm.
everybody there is hustling. So the energy, the aura is like struggle. Even in the trains in the morning, you see that nobody looks happy on that train. They're just
Yeah.
doing that because they have to. They don't want to. So Emmanuel earlier was talking about, when he was in Mauritius and how he was doing what he wanted to, that he forgot he hadn't watched TV in 7 months. And
Mm.
for me, that's what I want to chase now in my life, where I can just go and live in a place where I am doing every morning I wake up, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not
Mm.
working a job that I hate and all those kind of things. Self-actualization. Like, I'm
Yeah.
curious, and why this is important to me, I'm just asking people, I want to see where their mind is at and what is important to them, because I find it fascinating what drives everybody every day.
I think with people in diaspora, like from Nigeria, they only want to come here and show their village people that, you know what, we are making it, because that's what you see. A lot of people I've met. My aunt stays in just outside London, and I just observe, like, most of them, these are people that have spent like 17 years, 20 years in this country, and you wonder. Sometimes they'll tell you, I don't have money, I don't have, and I'll be like, what's going on? You've been in this country 20 years. If I had this opportunity, like, what is going on? Seriously, you see some people, they'll tell you they've been in London. I know it was not easy for some people, like in terms of the stay and everything. And that's one thing I would say with people who are on like work visa. If you are in the UK and you don't have like your permanent residence, yes, you don't really enjoy so much because you have restrictions. You can't work more than extra 20 hours. You can't maximize yourself. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
You can have businesses, but there's just so many restrictions. You don't have access to public funds. You don't have, it's just a lot of restrictions for them. So people don't maximize the the
The
the,
opportunity.
the what the country has got to offer. Like now, when I came in, I went to uni again while I was working. There's a whole lot of spending, and if I was kind of like a citizen or a permanent resident, I can apply for sponsorship from the government. We don't have opportunities for all of these things. But would I wait for 5 years before I achieve my goals? So, and this is where a lot of people make mistake. They don't want to spend that money to equip yourself to develop themselves, because you have to suffer now. If you come to London, if you come to the UK, I mean generally, or any country in Europe or abroad, and you're waiting for freebies, yeah, you will not go far, because at one point, probably if you're single, you're kind of married, they will all slow you down. You need to go back to school. It's not just visible. I've seen people studying nursing at the age of 50, and in my head, I'll be like, what are you looking for? You cannot try that in Nigeria, because the school will frustrate you, because they've made it so easy. I understand it's easy, but imagine graduating as a nurse at the age of 53. You don't have that energy. You can't.
Mm.
So a lot of system, it's just bad. So while you've been in this country, do what you need to do. Develop yourself, because by the time you go higher, when you develop yourself and you get better offers, then you can earn more. I understand the tax system and everything, but coming in, if I just look at me, a young guy like this, and I tell you, in the past 5 years before I get my permanent residency in the UK, I'm not doing anything. I'm just working. Are you not going to ask me that? Are you mad? 5 years,
Mm.
you're not equipped, no additional certification, nothing, nothing, nothing. So that's what some people are doing. They want to come and enjoy the life we could not enjoy back in Nigeria. So they come here, they see, oh, it costs you £30 to fly to Germany.
But do
Oh,
you, do you see
before,
yourself retiring in London, or do you
no,
have
no, no.
dreams to go back home?
Um, so with me now, I'm still exploring life, and currently, I mean, this is a lie, but I still don't care. I'm kind of like trying to explore. I think I spoke to my guy here. Like, I was thinking of going to like Australia. He was even telling me come to Australia. I told you I was trying to go to Canada and see, because Canada has more prospect in terms of setting up businesses and all of those things, rather than in the UK, where, I mean, it's just so difficult. Imagine I need the office now to even get your house, to mortgage a house. It's so like intense. I mean, it's achievable, but you want to have a house, you want to have a property for business, you want to. There's so restrictions. Government are just into everything. So I want to explore other countries where I think, okay, I can set up myself. And there's one thing I actually, I mean, it's not a regret because we didn't really have the opportunity because we grew up learning English. If probably we had opportunities of learning other like Spanish or French, there are still better countries that we can actually live in. If you go to countries like Sweden, I've met people from there. It's a whole different. I mean, let's leave the racism aside. Yeah, me, I don't care if you like abuse me or anything. It doesn't get to me. I'm just focused. I'm just focused because I don't care about all of those things. Yeah, but then these are countries whereby you can.
Brennos, sorry, man, because if we allow you without asking you a question, you're just gonna take us on a very long,
That's fine.
Peter will
That's
kind
fine.
of gist,
That's fine.
I like the fact that you've broken a lot of things down. You've spoken about your lifestyle, how a lot of people are not living the kind of life they should. They're just living the life on the ground, just
They
to
want
impress
us to
people.
come to. Someone is someone is advocating for Australia. They say
Mm.
Australia should pass Canada.
Now our guy in there, Canada, actually, he was in Australia before he went to Canada. So I mean,
Oh,
he's
okay.
yeah. So he has a balanced perspective. So, but again, Australia is hard. Australia is like a cow trying to pass through the eye of a needle. The country is just mad, But not sure ground actually. But anyways, you've spoken a lot about a lot of things, your experience, lifestyle, and then Adam has asked you if you would like to retire in London and all of that, you know. But then again, what will make you leave? Because you've actually spoken reasonably, I would say, about London, UK. So what will make you now say you want to relocate from there to other places like Australia, Canada, aside from owning up a business? So if you become a permanent resident, because you said there are limitations, we know that there are limitations, but if you become a permanent residency or a citizen, of London, for example, those restrictions obviously will be lessened. So you'll be able to own businesses, do what you have to do. So why do you want to leave?
Okay. So it's going to take time to achieve a lot of things, given the time of the year we've moved to this country. The country is tough currently. They are facing recession. I mean, it might not be as bad as what it is in Nigeria, but people have enjoyed UK. I mean, if you hear people's experience in the UK, they have really enjoyed UK. And in the space of 3 years I've been here, when I came in, I was buying plantain, 3 plantain for like, was it £1 something, almost £1. And in the space of 3 years, 3 plantain is now like £3, £2 something. I mean, you can see the change after all the Brexit and everything. COVID hit them, so it's going to take a longer time to achieve, because it's not. I mean, the country might be good. You have free healthcare. I mean, unlike the US, whereby they say you have to pay this, you have to do. Every country has its own advantage and disadvantage, but you need to look for where the opportunities are and maximize. So, I mean, I can, left to me, I want to even go back to Nigeria to like probably retire, getting my pension, coming here for vacations and all of that. Yeah. But we are still young now. It's very hard for you to say this is where I know. I mean, I might not be as old as you guys on up here, but I mean, it's very hard for you to say this is where you want to settle down. I mean, in the next 30 years, because you've not really explored. This is a country. I'm just 3 years here. Is ever changing. They come with different policy. Tomorrow they can say, you know what? We don't even want anybody in this country. No, it's true. It's true. That's the way they're moving. Okay, they said don't bring your family, no dependents if you're a student. They're just coming with different things. And then you just realize that, okay, you are not even achieving anything. And that is what's happening to a lot of people. My uncle moved to Canada in the space of 2 years, and I can see the difference in terms of, I mean, everything is not about money, but at least for now, I think we should be focused on preparing for our future. Do you understand? Where there is opportunity, grab the opportunity. Yeah. Establish yourself. If you think it's forex trading you want to do forex. If you think it's land banking you want to do land banking. Just try and secure your future rather than just living life. If you get what I mean. So
I feel it.
if I see
Brent, like I guess we all share your kind of perspective because a lot of us here on this call, you know, we are people that move a lot. You know, like you made mention of you don't really know how old we are. We are still very young men. I can
of
speak
course I
for
can
I can
see
speak for myself.
I know I know
We are still very young.
You know how when you're putting your age on a website and you have to scroll, you just dey scroll like when you do more than 3 scrolls, just know you're old.
Anyway, so I mean, someone like me, I've moved quite a while. You know, I'm not someone that just if I see potential anywhere, I just like to just move. You know, some of my friends are like, "Are you in Nigeria?" No, I'm in a regional Australia, and I had to move from a big city to here just because why not? You know, and same as Adam, same as Ini. So we are people like if we perceive, you know, something, and then because we know we are young, this is the time to do it. We just move.
yeah
So I like how you mentioned that as well. I know a lot of people have that mindset too. You know, but I'm just gonna phrase it here because I reckon Adam will have quite a few things to ask you, or maybe a few things to contribute as well.
Oh, me,
okay
I always have things to contribute. But you see, sometimes I try
Mm.
not to, because I'm starting to accept that I have ADHD in my old age. When
Hmm.
someone is talking, there's something they will say, and then my mind will go on a trajectory. I'll just be thinking about that thing. And you'll be talking,
mm.
talking, talking. So me and myself will be having that conversation in my head. By the time I now come back to what you're saying, I've skipped so many things. So it's a
Mm.
struggle to realign, which is why I have my notes here
Mhm.
because my memory is terrible. And
That's it, baby. You gotta have to have something that you
bruh,
can write your thought on. If
this is
not,
the
that's it.
first sign that you're old.
Mhm.
Alzheimer's. Like for me now, what I'm curious about is all this. What are the things that are important to you when you're thinking about where you're choosing as your home, like where you want to live? So most people will talk about healthcare, childcare, all those kind of things, employment rates. But then if those things no longer become worries, that's when you start to focus on enjoyment. Yeah, like what is the quality of life in this place? And I'm starting to see that for me, or this is my own understanding or observation, the quality of life in Australia is so high. Like you won't get it anywhere else. You won't get it anywhere else. I can beat my hand on my chest and say this is the best country in the world in terms of quality of life. But in terms of enjoyment, it's not number one. It's not right there. There are places that you will get more enjoyment.
Mm.
Like I recently went to Thailand and I was like, this place
Come
is
on,
made
Thai
for
rice, Thai
enjoyment.
baby,
I
Thai
swear,
fried
like
rice.
you don't even understand. That place was made for enjoyment. Everything is to cater to your enjoyment.
Amboruba,
And I
Shege.
was like, God damn, I want to enjoy life. You get. So if you can get remote work
so
and
so,
live in those kind
so
of
sorry
places,
I just
yeah.
wonder, like, I mean, I've not been to Thailand before, but
Mhm.
is it so the enjoyment now, is it for the foreigners, for the tourists, or even the people who are living it are enjoying that enjoyment you're talking about?
About the
So you see,
lifestyle, now that
Mm.
it
Thailand things.
So
everybody there's different.
so
Go ahead. Go
that's
ahead.
what you need to know. Like the residents in that country, are they enjoying as much as you who have traveled are enjoying? Because if they're making
Yeah.
more preference to people coming in, that's not really good, to be honest.
So that's the problem, right? Because we now have been exposed to capitalism. And what capitalism does is it makes you think about the next, the next, the next. So it's a hedonistic treadmill. You're just climbing, you never stop. Now, if you get a job, you want promotion. You get promotion, you want to start your business. You start your business, you want to scale your business. You scale your business, you want to go international.
Hmm.
Next level, next level, next level. Those people there, the locals, they don't care about that shit. They want to chill with their guys and be gisting. Then if customer come, they will drive you in the keke drive you back and continue that gist with their guys. They're comfortable, they're happy. That is their
As the
enjoyment.
government makes it very easy for them.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of subsidy that's going to be paid for that kind of, chill to happen. You know what I mean? Because those guys will need to buy medication, they will need to buy petrol, they will need to buy a few commodities. So the government have actually made it more substantial for them to afford, and then that's it. But if you want to go to countries like Fiji, I recently went to Fiji. Fiji is chill, but it's expensive too. But you can see the locals are living their life, they are doing what they are doing. But Fiji and Australian dollar, there's no much change right there. You know what I mean? And then they don't have another local currency. So even when you go as an Australian, it's still very expensive. So you can imagine how the locals are rolling. But they're still obviously having fun. But they just rely on tourism. And I don't think that government kind of subsidize a lot of crap, but I think Thailand will be different because they obviously have a lot of big industry like, textile industry that they export from and they have a huge, tourism base and then alcohol-based country as well. So I think lifestyle there will be different, and the government will be putting a lot of money, for crime rates
No,
to
you see,
reduce.
it's not government or all those kind of things, right? It's more just nature. Like there's things to do with nature, there's things to interact with. There's a community. Boys go gather, they play ball. They are just doing things. They go to the beach. It is the difference between there and here. Here, you have to curate everything. Before you go to the beach, you're thinking about parking. You get there, it's just so much red tape and hassle. Like you can't even play music at the beach here. And I don't like to compare, but then why would you go to the beach and you can't play music? You can't drink alcohol. It now takes away from the true enjoyment of the beach. But then those rules that they have in place is what makes Australia great. So different places are good for different reasons. And it's what I'm just trying to think in my head, okay, am I being greedy now that I've enjoyed what Australia has to offer? I now want
Who's
to
playing?
run
Who's,
to
who's
another
playing
place.
music? Sorry. Ini, is that you?
You guys can hear me now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Okay.
what happened to your Momo audio?
Oh
Finally
God.
came back.
Yes, sir.
Brainos, what's your real name?
Okay, my name is Paul.
Ew.
Paul Oyobanje.
You like your name?
Do I like my name? Do I have a choice? We
You do
don't have a
choice.
choice.
Honestly, you have a choice.
So I have to change my name.
Yeah, sometimes your parents don't know who you are, and then they give you anyhow name.
Nah.
What the heck is wrong with Paul? What's wrong with you guys?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's just trying to get into my head. But I don't. I mean, I don't.
Be honest. Have you ever heard? Do you like Paul?
Do I like Paul? See. This is the first time.
God.
This is the first time I'm thinking about. I don't want to think about what you've just said, to be honest, because it's never occurred to me. Like I've had people say I don't like the name that my parent gave me. I am this. Don't call me this. Like I've actually seen people, but then I actually think like, what goes through your head?
He's one of those guys. If you hear his name is Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Adamu.
That's why I'm asking, because I can relate, right? My parents called me Adamu, and I looked in the mirror one day and I'm like, fuck, I don't like this.
You don't look that name.
Exactly.
Because you're handsome. You don't look Adamu.
You don't look
you look like Kingston. You know?
It's the truth. My name is cool.
You look like Prince Stanley. Oh my God.
No, but it is. Are you from the north? No.
I was born in the north. I'm not from the north. I was born in Kaduna, so which is why I'm very like Hausa. But then I spent time in Lagos, like you.
Oh,
so
okay.
It kind of made me evolve, which is why I have flavor. So and then I schooled in the east. See, I'm just giving which is why I have
collabo.
That's it. Evil men hustle mentality. Wow.
That's I've not been to the north, to be honest. I think Nigeria is just. I mean, I don't just like to talk about Nigeria because it's just a street. To me, it's not a country; it's a street. I tell people, I only pass through Nigeria. Nigeria was not meant for me. It's just a street. You know, when you're passing through somewhere, but it's not your destination. You understand? Because Nigeria is just something differently. Like it's just. I don't just like talking
When
about
when when
about
we move
about it.
abroad as people in the diaspora, our
Uh,
favorite topic becomes Nigeria. I've not
uh,
seen any Nigerian in the diaspora that does not have something to say about Nigeria.
oh,
Always.
They love
We'll
it.
see the yeah, we'll see the
no,
things
it's
that
not.
don't work. And
You
then
know,
we
because
complain, but do nothing about
yeah,
it.
because the thing
We
is
can't,
that
to be
because
honest.
the thing is that right, if I want to go political now, a lot of people on this comment will not like me, so
I
let's
beg, I
exclude
beg. We don't have
that.
time
No,
for
no,
you and
nah,
Tinubu. Please, please,
nah.
please.
Because it's. But one reservation I have with Nigeria is this because I've heard a lot of people come up. Like I think that was the day you invited one counselor that was a lady that was friend.
She
I
won,
mean, I'd listened to
though. She won.
everything.
That's our leader.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So I just feel like the system in Nigeria, a lot of people just say this and that, but our problem is just from the start. And I don't know if people agree about me. I've done not like a research, but going back to since the day we got independence here, it was never the right independence, if you get what I mean. Let me explain. So the people who fought for independence, was it Nigeria as a whole, or certain people who had that vision? Why are we fighting for independence? Did we use guns to fight? And we didn't fight for independence. We collected it. It's two different things. If the old Nigeria said, you know what, we want to send these people out and everything, and we fought, that's a different thing. But some people who are trained by the same colonial masters, they came to the England. Let me put it that way. They
Mm.
came to the England and they learned a colonization
Sharon
leadership.
would like this topic. Which
The
Sharon there?
the kind of leadership they learned.
Anything colonization.
The kind of they said I'm going around too. The kind of leadership they learned was how to oppress,
Mm.
not a true leadership. Because this is what was handed over to them. To me, I don't know if this was true, but I think they saw a Nigeria whereby they can take advantage of. So they studied, they were learned, they knew that these people don't know anything. They've come to this country, they've seen the way these white people are enjoying and everything. You know what? As white to black now, you know what? We want our country. They sign treaties and all of these things, because if I'm oppressing you and you want your freedom, I can't just let you go like that. Think about
I'm trying to
it.
understand your points. What
Just
are you
allow
saying
So
him to drive.
about independence?
I'm seeing.
so the so when we got independence, the people who actually fought independence for us, what was their aim? Was it for the interest of the population, or they just felt like, you know what, we learn it, we know the right from left, we know these people, we know their culture already, now let's fight? Because if you see the people who fought for independence, the people who have this working partnership with the white people, they've been outside Nigeria. You understand? It was not like a all collective thing, because this explains why Nigeria was good at one point and it all came down. We had Nigeria Airways. We had a lot, like people were actually. I've met with people who like lived in that era. They were actually enjoying Nigeria at some point. We understand the slavery codes, but Nigeria was still okay for them compared to now. Some of them will still want to what's it called? Some of them will still want to like live in that era than this era that we are even governing ourselves, because this is even more than colonization. We are colonizing ourselves now because there's not freedom, there's nothing.
Paul,
So I
Paul.
mean, I
So
might, that's why I said hold on, I might be wrong.
No,
This
no,
is
no.
my
You don't
own.
not even might. You are wrong.
Okay, okay, so that's
and
that's
and
what that's why I think.
and I like that you're being honest, right?
Yeah.
I love
Mm,
conversations like this because we
mm.
always have everybody has their idea or their own opinion or theory. And I don't know, like you see, the thing is, my favorite question to ask when everybody says what is wrong with Nigeria is, okay, what are you doing about it in your capacity? And then that seems to always kill the conversation because none of us want accountability. Like what has happened has happened. And it's choice. I don't know how to explain it. You have freedom to do what you want to do, but then we put ourselves in mental cages. See how now I asked you about your name, Paul. And let's be honest, like I'm assuming I could be wrong that you don't like the name. If you could pick your name, you will pick something that you like. And this is an assumption, I could be wrong. It's the
Of course.
same way we tend to blame somebody else for our problems. So the
Mm.
black man blaming the white man, colonization, they gave us, all those kind of things is blame, 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 because we've put ourselves in a mental cage. Now that we think that is the reason, what can we do about it? What are we changing? What are we doing? What's holding us from changing that? It's just our mindset, the mentality. What's holding you from changing your name is the fact that you feel like they gave me this name, I can't change it. Well, you can. So what can we do about the current situation or current condition of Nigeria to change the things that we don't like? Is my
Yeah,
question.
definitely.
Okay.
Make Guinea talk. Guinea, what going? What's
Before
happening?
before there is, even as an individual, there's something they call circle of change. Yeah, you have to accept that there is a problem and there is a need for change. Contemplation, pre-contemplation phase, and everything. Now, we all agree that there is a problem. Now, are you ready to change? People will say yes. People will say no. If you're not ready to change, a lot of people are stuck there. Yeah, because probably they don't have the skills or anything. They are not seeing like they are fine. Now, a lot of people are on the pathway of, yes, we need a change in this country. Now, do you have the help, what it takes to make a change? Because that's where you need to look at. A lot of people are not in that platform. In sociology, culture is a very big thing.
Mhm.
And then I tell people, like, for instance, let me just digress a little bit, not to. If I didn't grow up in Nigeria, if I just grew up I don't have accent to this is for you, but thank you,
I
thank
swear
you.
the
It's not
colors
my
are
fault.
distracting
Na
me.
collabo,
Oh,
everything na collabo.
no man, that boy.
No, I know.
Boy.
It's just, yeah.
Akwa Ibom boy.
Now, if
What's that? Akwa Ibom
I
people, they
have
go anyhow.
if we
Please, Paul, carry on.
if we
These
grow
people
up
are
if we grow up
miscreants.
in a different environment, like no learning, no influencing our mind, like when you come to the world, just grow. Nobody's teaching you anything. Nobody's putting ideas in your head. We would live differently. We would have experience based on our intuition and experiences alone. But now we are in a world whereby you learn through knowledge, people's experience, people teaching you this. So even if I say something, and that is why I'm very careful with what I say, and I like saying in my own opinion before people come and crucify me. But even in that my own opinion, if I say one thing, it can change a mind of people watching. Do you understand? Like probably you're not thinking of something, and then so I understand where you said mental captivity. Like a lot of people are, yes, it is what it is, because we were groomed, we were being. It's just like you're rearing animals. If you It's what you want them to do, that's what you train them. We are trained in this way, and it's part of us. If you are a soldier, you're a soldier. There's things that are expected to do. A soldier will tell you, I only say yes, even when they know something is wrong, even when they know it is very, very wrong to do something. For instance, look at the answers. They say go and kill somebody, even if you don't agree, but because you're a soldier, you think you have to follow the command. So that is the way we're being brought up. So the mindset is very difficult to change. And societal norms is a big thing as well, because once you do something that is out of the society, they tend to hear, oh, this person is not cultured, this person is not this.
But
They can.
I have a question. I don't know what they call that thing. You know when you start working on a project or like a business idea and then you've gone like halfway through and you realize that it's a flop, but you can't just cancel it and then start something new, right? So honestly, like I care very much about Nigeria, and I really really wish that like Nigeria could improve and become better. But every time I think of okay, how can we fix the country? Honestly, I don't think there's no solution in sight. If you think about the fact that it's a federal system, right? So power is in the
Mhm.
middle of the country. So one person takes all. It's not
Mm.
like Australia, for example. All the states are independent. Drivers up to driver's license rules, everything is different. So they
Mm.
run themselves independent of the government. In Nigeria, state government exists, but under the federal government. So the president is still dictating everything that happens in the country. Now, when you now look at the fact that the Hausa man is totally different from the Igbo man, like literally, he is different. They think differently. They watch. If religiously, they're also different.
Yeah,
Everything is
cultural
almost
different.
totally opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then let's just assume that the Yoruba guys are in between, right? But
Mm-hmm.
again, they are still different
Different.
from everybody else. Okay. Then the British people looked at all these people and said, let's make it one country. So that's a
That's the
flop.
one. That's one big. That was
It
one big
means
mistake. You see
we
that Lord
never
Lugard?
ever would come to an agreement.
Let me
If
tell
Mm.
you.
we
Let me tell
can't
you
come to
something.
an agreement,
But
let me finish, Chris. Let me
do
finish.
you think we should like disamalgamate?
Yes.
Let me put it that way.
So if we
Okay.
can't come to an agreement, there will always be external influence. And then we'll always fight for who should sit in the president's office. Jonathan tried and said, let them remove the power from ABJ and then let states have more power. They fought against it. The solution to Nigeria is that, for me, I think it should not exist as a country, right? Everybody should go their separate ways.
Mm.
Split it into 6 geopolitical zones or something, and then let them govern themselves. It's easy for me to complain to my state governor directly than having to go to Aso Rock to meet the president. It's not a
Mm.
community problem now. Do you
My
get? It's
God,
people of the
Ini,
same.
I feel you. Ini,
Well,
I beg 1 second, I beg. Let
well,
me even before I go forget my thoughts. I don't. My
oh,
book don't full. I don't even the right for table set.
No,
You
but
know,
is your thoughts in the same line with Emmanuel? Like, is he along the same
it's
line?
I
different.
actually I
Like
actually agree. I
it's
actually to
different
me
because
honestly.
he's saying that Nigeria shouldn't have been one. You know, because of all these differences in tribes and religion and all of that. But I
Mm.
wanted to say, look,
yeah.
at the end of the day, it all came from a place of cost. You know, if Nigeria wasn't one, if the British were already in Nigeria, right, and they wanted to make it a one whole country just because they wanted to manage costs, it would have been more expensive to have the North run a different government, South running a different government, East running a different government. So they put everything in one, you know, and to try to make it Nigeria. This is what I read somewhere that they actually just wanted to cut that cost. You know what I mean? Then again, if you
So,
want to come talk of
what cost of what is the
chill,
sorry?
I'm
What
coming.
cost are we talking about, please?
I'm coming. If you want to, all the most of the countries that they went and then they got power and then they put all these regions together. You know, for US example, US is way bigger than Nigeria. Different people, different nationality. You know, brought everybody together, make it a country, and it worked. It's not really just about the British coming to make Nigeria
So,
one
praise,
that made us different.
praise.
It's
Let me give
about
you praise. You're
us. It's
taking
about
it.
us as a people. Sharon says something. If you
No,
really want to make Nigeria work, we need to start from the small unit, the family. Even most family.
no, no.
No,
You cannot
no,
start from the
no.
family. Praise. Let me tell you something. Nigerian families are actually way better than most families. Most. We're actually good people when you go down to family
Mm.
level. We're
Mm.
actually raising good kids
Yeah.
in Nigeria. What are you talking about? Now you say America. America was colonized by Europeans. Europeans, they came there and they
Sorry,
lived there
sorry,
and built.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Before you get distracted from your train of thoughts, because I like what you were saying, right? It's a nuanced observation. where you said let's separate and let each region govern itself because
Yeah.
we can see that it's working in Australia. Now, why me I'm asking this question is so that we can workshop ideas, right? One day we'll now land on something that is practical that we can use. Now, how I would challenge that thought process is the reason why we cannot disamalgamate is because of crude oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
The North will not want, I think crude is in the east or the south. They will not
It's
want those to separate because they
that's
will
up.
stop benefiting from crude oil. So, what would you say now, you guys proposing that solution? How can we make it work?
All it takes, Adams, is for the south. We don't do a lot of farming. The north does a shitload of farming. Sell it to us expensive for the crude oil. Or trade by barter. We have oil,
Mm-hmm.
we have agriculture. All the government needs to do is say, okay, in the next 10 years, we'll develop the north and then we'll make agriculture. And it was, okay, before crude oil, it was agriculture. That was very profitable for the country, right? Before the oil boom, go and check. It's
Yeah, yeah,
agriculture that
definitely.
was our major source
Even
of
Malaysia,
income,
Malaysia is running
right?
on palm oil now. Malaysia is running on palm
So
oil.
it's not like
So
agriculture is a bad thing. It's just the people that have it are lazy, or Nigerians are lazy overall, right? We have this easy money and then we're just wasting it. But we can actually invest money in the north and say, okay, let's invest in farming and then make it what it's supposed to be. But the crude oil itself, it's going to deplete, and then at some point it's no longer there. So it's not like it's there forever, right? At some point we would not even have the crude oil again. So yes, it's going to be difficult because there's crude oil. But how is Lagos surviving? Lagos doesn't have crude oil, right? They have seaports, they have all these things. I bet you if you close, I don't think Lagos has those natural resources to survive. But it's surviving.
Lagos
So
is like
it,
industrial. It's just like any city
the
that
praise
that's
Lagos is the
Mm.
people. It's the people.
industrial.
It's the
So
people.
Mm-hmm.
Praise. It's the people. That's all. It's the people. Anambra
Yeah.
State and Abba, whatever, Abba, it's still the people, right? That just make those places what they are. So I feel like yes, agriculture is the problem, and it's a yeah, sorry, crude oil might be an issue, but they can come to an agreement and have a deal to take care of
Mm.
not or they'll. How is China investing in Nigeria and giving us money? It will be the same thing. Build the infrastructure for them, own it for 20 years, and then everybody moves on. But because to fix Nigeria now, first we have to fight to put a leader. The problem with putting that leader there is that everybody has this is he has to be a Muslim, he has to be a Christian, and then when he's picking his running mates, if he's a
Mm.
Christian, he has to pick him. You see all these constraints we have. So you can't ever pick the right leader. But if it's the same tribe already, same culture, right? These decisions are easy to make. If it's 6 states that form one country, you have 6 governors. You can pick one president very fast. You can remove him very fast. Everything would happen swiftly. But now you have 36 states. Out of the
Mm.
36, 8 of each state are different, north, south, west, and then all of them have their own interest. They have their own wicked mindset coming. Like, if you think of it right, it's just too many things to manage. It's not like Australia, where even if all the countries, all the states were under one leader, it's the same language they all speak. It's the same, all their interests are still aligned. The same. It's the same culture. It's everything is the same. So it will still be easy to govern. Nigeria is ungovernable.
when
I
you
don't want
talk
to
of
say what the other,
when you talk of Australia, don't forget they were all of native people, Aboriginal people, and they speak different. The Aboriginal language is different from the next one.
but
You know,
praise,
so
let's not go down that
it's the
path.
mindset. That's what I mean. Like it's just the
Praise, we're
mindset.
talking of the majority.
Nigeria
Praise, what is the majority of Australia? Who is the majority in Australia?
before they came in, let's say before this
Forget
time,
before. We're
it
talking
was a
of
different.
Australia of now. You're talking of before they came in. Okay, before they colonized Nigeria, was Nigeria not a
That's
good
what
place to live?
I mean. Like Nigeria of now would
But
have been
it
better because
was
we speak
not.
English, right?
It,
We speak English in
no,
Nigeria.
but praise when
It's just the people. You know, the people like you've said. A lot of people are coming with different interests. If we have one interest, Nigeria would have been a better country now. So the British
but,
has come.
but
They've shown us what the democracy is like. Put everybody together. They gave us the country they left. So it is
no,
the people now
first
that
of all, democracy
we are the
is a
problem.
scam. First of all, every country doesn't need democracy to even start with. Countries like Nigeria don't need democracy.
What do we
That's
need
the
then?
truth. What's this? What's this country? Is this Sudan? It's not Sudan.
I've forgotten the country, this French-speaking African country that has this military guy ruling that tried to conduct an election. They said no, he should still stay there and rule. Anyways, forget about that. Yes, democracy, the British people showed us, but I think sometimes you need iron fist to rule some countries, and then you transition to democracy. So it doesn't apply to every country. I don't think a country like Nigeria would survive. Okay, we have the democracy. How are we doing? Like, how well are we doing compared to Abacha's regime? Are we doing better? Are we better off? We're not. Like, literally, everyone is stealing money and doing whatever they like. So I don't think democracy favors everyone. I think the Middle East, for example, they don't have democracy there, and some of the countries are thriving still. So why do you think that democracy is a must?
That's what I
It's not
mean.
a
Like
must.
it's again, it's about the people now. Understand, right? The Middle East, they don't have democracy. They have like they're ruling from like royals and all of this kind of thing. But then again, they are ruling because they have a different mindset. A lot of
Okay.
them as a country, they have the same kind of ideology
So,
and
Prince, I
mindset.
like that I said that the royals and all that are ruling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's now break it down to Nigeria now. Imagine if the Oba of Benin was ruling the whole of the South, and then the Sultan of Sokoto was ruling the whole of the North. Wouldn't it still be easier to exist as a country than having governors around if you just had those rulers in those places ruling? Since it's culture, right? And Nigerians are very cultural people, so we'll listen to those guys and then everything would blend. Do you think Nigeria would have been better off if we had those guys running the
I
country?
mean, there's no proof of concept there now because if they ruled and then there are
No,
still
there's
people
proof.
that
No,
are so
there's proof. There's proof because they were doing it before the colonization
yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah.
What
But
are you
and
talking
yeah,
about? And go
and
and
yeah.
and
check.
it was, I think
It
it
was
was really,
good.
they were doing
So
well. Yeah,
what are you
you cannot
talking
just do,
about?
if the king says nobody's coming out, nobody's
Yeah,
coming out. It's just now that the government is now a little bit, I mean, very much over the kings and everything.
there's
That even when you
yeah,
have functions, the kings still have to like respect
yeah.
the government.
You will say North Korea, for example, now that a king apparently is just doing what he's
They
doing,
don't
and
have
they
kings
know,
in North Korea.
see,
They have a
not
dictator, a
yeah,
military
yeah, that's what I
president.
mean. So that's what you want Nigeria to be like, right? So
Chris,
everybody's just gonna be
you're
like
mistaking dictator for monarch and then kingship and all those things. I'm talking of like having like an
democracy.
Oba who
Democracy is not
Chris,
a bad
Chris,
ideology of
why do you
governance.
think
It's just the people. It's
that
just the people that are
why do you
there,
think
just doing, just just being inhumane. That's just the problem.
Praise, hold on. I think what he's trying to say is he's not saying democracy is bad, but do you think democracy is what we need as a country in Nigeria for it to work? Or we need a stronger or iron hand?
We had tried military. Military did not work for us. Democracy works for us. It's just the people now that are selfish and arrogant and are greedy. That's the
see
problem.
Chris, if Nigeria as a country was a chart, it would have been going up like this. When we went to democracy, we're going down. It's only been going down, down, down. It hasn't gone up. It's just downward spiral from when we started doing
They
democracy
say
downwards.
they say let's bring Buhari. Buhari was a
Chris,
military this
it's
that.
very
When Buhari
simple.
came,
Check
what
the
happened?
value of Naira 20 years ago and check it now. Like, it's not rocket science. Just check it. The data
Me,
is there. It's not
what
like
I know that
nobody's making it up.
there was a
It's
time Naira was
democracy has
bigger
failed in
than
Nigeria. Like,
pounds.
it's
What happened? Who can answer that question? There was a time Naira was
Again,
higher
my
than
brother,
pounds sterling. What
it's just
happened?
the greed. It is just the greed of the people. The people that were there at the time were transparent, right? It was still it was military, but then we had governors and those kind of people. You know what I'm saying? All them ice Iran sea and they started killing themselves, and then this one is ruling, the other one is ruling, and those kind of military coup and all of that.
but
Me and you were
again,
not even born.
just to add,
So it is just
just
the
to add
greed of the
to,
people.
just to
If the people mindset changed, like Australia,
so
for example, we still have issues.
when he says
Or
if the
America still has
people's
their own issues,
mindset,
but then
when he says if the
there's
people's mindset
transparency and
changed,
then
right?
people are following rule
So
of
I'll
law.
give you an
In
example
Nigeria,
now.
there's
I'll
no
give you guys an
in
example.
Nigeria,
This
there's no
guy that
rule
is
of law.
talking,
People
right?
are not even following rule
This
of law.
guy who
That's
is
the problem.
talking, this guy who is talking supports Tinubu. So when you're saying if the mindset should change, he supports Tinubu.
But what's the problem with me supporting Tinubu? Is Tinubu
You
not a
see, you
Nigerian? That's the
you
but
see.
no, chill. Let's even talk
So
about that. Let's talk about that.
if his
Tinubu,
mindset cannot
chill.
change,
We're
if
talking about
his
democracy.
mindset
In
cannot
it,
change in
we
Australia,
are talking about the
why do you
democracy,
think?
and I have the right as a Nigerian to vote
That is
and
why
choose who I
I
want to
said
vote
we
for. So
don't
what's
need
the problem?
democracy because we don't
So what's
have
the problem
people.
of a Nigerian choosing who he wants to vote for, how he
That's
wants to
why I
go
said we
about it?
don't need
That is your
democracy
birth
because
right. That is
Praise,
freedom of choice. That's
praise.
just
You
right
are
there.
proving my point. You are proving my point, praise. Not everybody is supposed to vote. That's one thing that we've made a mistake
What
with,
do you
and
mean?
that's what democracy
That's your
allows.
right. That's
Let
your
me
right
finish.
as a citizen
It's
to vote
no,
and
no,
run for
no,
an
no, no.
office.
It's not your right. It's a lie. It's a lie. That's a lie,
Yes.
praise. Let me explain to you why.
So when they say, sorry, when you say you have a right for something, which means you have the right to exercise it or not, it's not like compulsory, is it?
It means you have. No, it's not compulsory.
But then
What
you
Yeah.
have
I'm
the right.
saying now is that
You have the
it's
right to
so.
exercise your
So
franchise.
let
The
me give you an
franchise is your right. It's
example
your
of
right
why
to
I said
vote.
it's not right. I'll explain to you why now. Let me give you an example. Everybody pays tax, right? So you have the right to drive a car. Am I correct? But you don't have the right to drive without a driver's license. So driving
Mm.
is important. You could kill someone, right? So, but we don't take driving as important as who we vote into power. That will impact the rest of our lives for the next 4 years. We just allow everybody to vote. So some people vote because the person is the same tribe with them. They don't check the policies. They just vote based on that. So that's a risk now. It means you could put the wrong people in power because they've lied to the public about what they want to do, or they've deceived the public.
Bro,
So the
you
voters. No,
cannot
let me
tell
finish.
people
Let me
who to
finish.
vote
Let me
for.
finish.
Like, what's
Praise.
wrong with
Praise.
you even voting for
I'm not
someone
telling
from
you.
you?
You're
A
not
lot of
getting my
people vote.
point. You
A lot
see,
of people
you're
voted for
listening to
Obama because
reply to
Obama
me.
is
That's
black.
why.
You know, a lot of people are voting for
Again,
Trump because Trump is white. There's no problem you voting for
no,
anybody if you
you
want to vote for
still not
anybody.
get.
It's
Yeah,
all about
praise.
policies. But I'm
You're still
getting
not
you,
getting.
shall speak on.
No, you're not getting me. Let me explain it again now. So what I'm trying to say is that the same way you enter the car and drive on the road, you need to be aware of what you're doing. It's the same way when you're voting, you need to be aware of the decision you're making and how that person is going to impact your life and everybody around you, not based on sentiment. Does that make sense? So like again, the people who will be impacted by those decisions are the ones that should vote. So that's why you don't have kids voting. Because at the end of the day, the parents that will be affected with high tax or whatever happens, it's
Mm.
mostly it directly affects them, right? And then the kids are not smart enough to make that decision. That's why they don't let them vote in the first place. So even the adults that we think should vote, if we have too many stupid people voting, we would have stupid leaders. That's the truth. Look at every country. If you have more stupid people in that country, you're going to have more stupid leaders in power. That's the reality. There's no outcome. Like there's no other outcome except that.
Any,
So not every
literally, I don't have a lot of battery, but I would like to just make my point right because there's all these, issues about, policies, who you should vote for, who you
so,
shouldn't vote for,
so Chris, I'm not
and
saying
I'm
that
saying,
people should not vote.
no,
I'm
chill, chill, chill,
saying
and
people who are there should be
I'm
some
just
sort of
saying, wait,
education
chill.
for people
This,
to vote.
let me tell you something, right, my brother. See, at the end of the day, it's about politics. Politics is not religion. Politics is a game. Anyhow you want to play
You see what
politics
I'm
and
saying
win
again?
politics.
This is the
Chill
game. You
now.
see
Wait,
what
let
I'm
me tell you.
saying, right?
That's what it is.
But
Go
that's
and
the
study
problem,
politics.
right? But that's
Let
the
me, my
problem.
brother, politics is a game of number. Anyhow you want to canvass and get your vote, you go do your thing and get your vote. Trump is doing his own campaign, saying a lot of things. Republicans,
I'm
sorry,
not talking.
Democrats,
I don't care about
chill.
Trump. I don't care about all
Wait
those people.
now. Let
We're
me say
talking about
something.
Nigeria, for
But we
God's
are talking
sake.
about politics here. Politics is
No,
different. Politics
no, we're
is a
talking about
game.
Nigeria, not politics. I don't
Is
care about the rest of the world, Chris.
bro.
It's not my
At the end
problem.
of the day, you can be a good leader and a bad politician. You are not even going to execute. You will not do anything. You can be a bad politician and a good leader. You know what? So these are different. For you to become a leader, you must be a good politician. Being a good politician means that you have to be able to get votes. How do you get votes? You get votes through a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is through policies or it is through ethnicity, whatever. But you have to be able to somehow get votes. You know what I mean? Then again, I'm saying something. A lot of people are having issues with people that voted for Tinubu. I'm saying, what is the democracy? It is very unfortunate that we are experiencing what we are experiencing now in Nigeria. But when Tinubu was the governor, Adam that was in Lagos had said that he had a blueprint. Lagos was working. You know what I mean? A lot of people are attributing whatever is going on in Lagos to him. And he was working right there. I'm saying
So,
he was a good governor. He had that proof of concept. There was a track record. And he's coming to become a president. First time ever. We've tried a lot of people. He has done so much. People decided to vote for
you
him.
don't
Even
call
if you look,
Adams.
even if you look at how the politics or how the voting went, a lot of Easterners had voted for Obi. People from the East voted for Obi. People from the West voted for Tinubu. People from the North will obviously
Chris,
vote for chill. People from the north will obviously vote for their people. This is Nigeria. There's no way
Praise, that's the
ethnicity and
problem I'm
religion
talking
will not
about.
come in play. Again, he went on
Praise,
and picked a
but
vice
that's
president.
exactly what I'm
Wait
talking about.
now, Baba,
Like,
when you were talking, I allow you to talk. He went on and picked a vice that was a Muslim. He honestly understood that at the end of the day, before you become a president in Nigeria, you must win 25% of every state, and obviously you must have the bigger vote. Who are the majority? The Muslims. Muslims obviously would vote for their own people. So you cannot tell people who not to vote for or who to vote for.
Praise,
That is
that's
politics.
exactly why I said it should not be one country. We don't need democracy. Everybody go and stay. If you're a Muslim, go and have your Muslim leader. If you're a Christian in the East, go and have your Eastern Christian leader. If you're Yoruba, have a Yoruba Muslim or Yoruba Christian leader. Simple. That's what I'm saying. That it's not working.
Whether that would
It's,
have
you just prove it. You
even
just prove it to me.
whether that
Look
would
at
have
all the things you said
is
about
if
voting.
whether that would have
You have to be
okay
this,
now
you have to be that, you have to be.
let's
That's
forget
the
about
problem. So it's not working.
let's forget about
You
Nigeria.
just described a system that's broken.
Let's look at the most
This is
civilized
the,
country. Let's look at the most civilized country like the US, for example. Now, me and you would follow US
No,
election.
sorry, just to pull us
See what
back,
is
just to
see
pull
what
us
is
back.
going on in
We
the
have
US election now, right? See what is going on in the US election now.
patience now. Your blood the hot.
You're hot too.
We have 3 minutes before we round up. I beg again, because all of us have many ideas. We're very brilliant people on this call. However, we've come up with some good ideas that I like and I've put in my notes. But then, can we just summarize what we think will help Nigeria? In our own opinion, like we don't have to cross-examine anybody else, just your own recommendation, and then we keep it moving. So we just round out. Paul, my guy, the sweet name. Start with you.
yeah, I see what you did there. Anyways, so I will agree with Ini, to be honest. But on the other hand, it's so difficult to actually make a change, to me, honestly, because it's gonna take a lot of sacrifice, and who is ready to sacrifice themselves or everything? We've had now, even if we sacrifice ourselves, are we going to be the new Euros past? Are they going to change the national anthem and sing for us? It takes a lot of. I think if Nigeria is really going to change, there's going to be, don't let me say, blood or something, civil war and all of those things. It's going to be tough if this is actually what we want, because clearly everybody's running away. We are all running. That's why you're in Australia. We are running away. So if you are talking about, who's going to make the change, why are you in Australia? Why are you not in Nigeria fighting for it? It's not easy. Yes, it starts from us, but am I ready? They will just kill me, and that will be the end of Paul. So everybody is playing safe. So with the what change in Nigeria, we are not ready to change. We don't have we have different ideas. We have different backgrounds. So there's a lot of differences that would push the change. And for a change to happen, there must be coordination, which we lack currently as a country. So that's my reservation.
Thank you. Emmanuel.
Okay. I need to address Praise first. Praise, all I was trying to say is that
Call him on the WhatsApp group and address him.
No.
No.
It's 2 seconds. It's going to be very short.
Nigeria is bigger than Praise.
Okay.
Nigeria is bigger than Praise. Focus on Nigeria.
Okay.
Give us your
Nigeria.
recommendation and call Praise.
My say I call Praise. My recommendation is, if there's a way to have voter education, then let's do that. And then not everyone should vote. Those who are eligible to vote should go in there and cast their votes. The ones who really have no clue what they're doing, maybe they should not vote. They should sit home and then sort out their other problems. If that doesn't work, then I think the other option, which I feel is the best option, is that every state should just go on their own. If you can't divide it into 6 places, then I think maybe every state should just wake up one morning and tell the federal government, "Fuck you, we're done," and then break off. I feel like that's the best solution for everyone.
Let's bomb all of the leaders. Let's bomb everybody.
Hey! This video is gone. He said it.
You want to go and incite violence.
No.
No, now say he started from Daper TV, as Praise will call it.
Anyways.
Praise, what do we have from you?
Honestly,
So
I
we can
think
round out.
good citizens makes a good country, and at the end of the day, we've gotten Nigeria, and nobody's praying for civil war. Nobody's praying for a country to divide. I understand that we are going through difficult times, but there are a lot of things that are going on. And then you ask yourself, are these issues from our leaders? They're actually from us. So if we should have a unanimous, community where everybody takes responsibility and people are accountable for themselves, we will have a good country. So for us to have a good country, we must be good citizens. If you want to drive, make sure you've got a driver's license. By that, you are not going to be able to bribe no policeman on the road. Just be a good person. You will not be arrested, for example. If you want to pass exams, to read your books and all of that, you wouldn't want to bribe a lecturer to pass exams. Yeah. So be a
How
good
many of you bribe
citizen,
lecturer?
be a good citizen,
Nah.
be a good community, and then the country at large will be.
I want to say something to you. So someone is saying something in the comment section that it starts with the circle. Now, this is why I'm saying about collaboration. Look at this small Instagram circle. Yeah, I mean, maybe let's remove me because I'm just the odd person out. There is not even they have different ideas. Look at Praise and Nini today. Just imagine we put the fate of Nigeria in their hands.
But
As
that's
the
the
small
thing, Tina.
circle as they are.
You small
That's the thing.
Instagram talk. You
No,
say
no, no,
you should bomb everybody.
no. Paul. Because we are Paul. Because we are exposed. Because we are well read. We must always have different ideology. And then for us to have one unanimous agreement is for us to disagree to agree. We must disagree. It's only a dead fish that can swim, with the tides. If you are alive, you always will swim against the tides. That's it.
Politician. This guy talks like a politician. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
he is a politics.
God.
He is a
No, but
politician. He is.
you see,
Ah,
like Praise said, for you to be a good leader, you need to first know how
I
to
swear.
politic.
Yeah.
And
God.
Praise is good at it. Like you see, if
Very
I was
good.
picking a cabinet, if I was the president today, I'll pick Emmanuel and I'll pick Praise to be on my cabinet because they have very different points of views, different perspectives. If I can balance those two ideas, because you need friction to come up
You
with
just tell
something
them,
that will unite the
speak.
people.
They will
So
speak, and you take your notes and be
and,
jotting, and
and
you make your
that's
decision.
why I do this,
Easy.
because I want to learn from brilliant people, right? I love Emmanuel's idea. I also love Praise's idea. Now
Mm.
we just need to find that middle ground, which is what a good leader should do. And to buttress on the points that Praise you highlighted, I wasn't in Lagos when Tinubu was governor, but I've spoken to Lagosians. They loved him as a governor because his values or his interests aligns with those of those Lagosians. Lagosians, they are, what do you call them? Capitalists. Now, as the president of the country, I am not sure his values aligns with all of Nigeria,
State.
which is
Mm.
why there's a lot of friction. And because of that friction, I am now inclined to agree with Emmanuel's original proposition, which is disamalgamate. Let every region govern itself. And I'm like, that's true. That will reduce the friction.
Yep.
And eventually, we'll find a way to work together. We don't have to be one country. It's almost like the EU. They are individual countries and they work together. They have euro. They'll find ways to benefit one another. And that's what I
Exactly.
believe we can work towards. So to Emmanuel, thank you. I've learned something from you. I've made my notes. I didn't think about it that way. And I like your idea. It's just for us to continue to stress test the idea to see if we
Yeah.
can scale the idea. But this has been enjoyable. Thank you, Paul.
So in short,
Trained us.
everybody should go back to Nigeria, anyways. So go back
Paul, they're
home.
waiting for you. You
Go
said
Absolutely.
you
back
should
home.
bomb them.
Go back home.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you. Thanks
Bye.
for having me.
Okay, thanks for coming.